What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here, welcome back to the channel. And before we get into today's video, guys, we are 32 subs away from 200. We're getting closer and closer to the goal. And honestly, that's incredible, absolutely incredible. But as always, and as I've said in previous videos, if this channel gets to 200 subs, I will open up this Korean Strike of Neos booster box in its entirety on the channel. As you guys can probably tell, under the right light, you can tell it is completely taped. On the hopes to potentially pull this guy, Elemental Hero Air Neos. If this channel gets to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description. Maybe we might pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Maybe we might pull a Dark Magician. Maybe we might pull a piece of Exodia. Or maybe, just maybe, we might pull a Pot of Greed. Who knows? However, if the channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel, on the hopes to potentially pull my second ever collector's rare. I also got this from my partners over at Collector Store. But if you guys missed out, speaking of collector's rares, if you guys missed out on excuse me, on my Genesis Impact box opening, you guys see it. It's not just any beat cup from the Underworld. It is actually a collector's rare beat cup from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely gorgeous. I am planning to get this card graded at some point. Again, guys, yes. If you guys want to see these boxes get opened, if you guys want to see me potentially pull a collector's rare out of Toon Chaos, maybe you guys want more card discussions, maybe you guys want some more WWE topic videos, episodes of WWE's biggest issue, episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's biggest issue, deck profiles, or even maybe you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys have not done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button, and be sure to follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to also comment below answering the question of the day, which is this. This is only a random question, but I want to hear from you guys. What is your favorite deck to play at a tournament? Because and the reason why I ask this is because I'm actually thinking about doing deck profiles of those just to see how well they actually work. Maybe I might upgrade them to to my build or something. Who knows? So again, guys, be sure to answer the question of the day in the comments below. And guys, you guys wanted it. You guys are going to get it. And as you guys could tell by the title of the video, yes, I will officially be talking about the brand new Earthbound Immortal support that will be released in the Animation Chronicle 2023 set. Now, the thing about this about the Earthbound Immortal archetype is that we didn't get a whole lot of support for them back in the 5Ds era. Because for one, all of the synchro monsters that benefited from the Earthbound Immortals, a lot of them were all either jump promos or they were prize cards. Every other all the other synchros were pretty much in the core sets, in which I think there was only maybe 1 or 2, if I remember correctly. Everything else, jump promos or prize cards. Over time, yes, over time we did get them reprinted in in sets, in sets like duels packs and legendary collections and whatnot. But again, we didn't get like proper support for them until like, what was it, Immortal Destiny, was it? Yeah, I think it was Immortal Destiny. Either that or Rage Raw, one or the other. I think it was Immortal Destiny. Yeah, I think so. I think it was Immortal Destiny because that was where that was the set that gave us the new Bakura support, and I think we also did get the Earthbound support from that set. So what I find what I find so interesting about the new cards is that these new cards can actually work well with the Earthbound Immortals, especially if you have a 10-star Earthbound Immortal plus a 1-star tuner. You can instantly just go into a Psychic and Punisher and push for game. That's just how nasty the deck can be, and I am definitely going to be doing an update on my Earthbound Immortal deck using these new cards at some point. I don't know when, but I'm going to, and it's going to be absolutely wild. So hopefully you guys are ready, and guys, let's get straight into it. There's a note on top at the very top of this. Oh, before I forget, if you guys are curious how I look at these new cards, I always use YG Organization. Big shout outs to them. Big shout outs to them. I use them for pretty much all of these types of videos, so make sure you guys check them out. Shout outs to them. But there's a note on top that says, due to Furigana Rini for Earthbound Spirit being literally the English words Earthbound Spirit in katakana, I believe, and not Jibakure, it does not count as an Earthbound monster. So either it gets a rename, or we get exclusion texts on the TCG card. So Earthbound Spirit was a card used by Bakura in the DM anime. I think in the Battle City final, in the Battle City quarterfinals, if I remember correctly. And again, I know that there's gonna be a lot of people who are probably gonna say, oh, Earthbound Spirit, maybe it is an Earthbound monster. No, it's not. Unfortunately, it is not. So you won't be able to use Earthbound Spirit in this type of deck. You can only use cards that mention Earthbound that wasn't Earthbound Spirit. You can even also use, as well as I mentioned, the Earthbound Immortals as well, which is even more nasty. So let's kick things off with Earthbound Prisoner Groundkeeper, which is a 1-star Dark Fiend tuner with 300 attack and defense, and the first effect is a once per turn, which reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon a level 5 or lower Earthbound monster from your deck or grave, except this card, or Earthbound Spirit. Again, as I mentioned, you can't use Earthbound Spirit because it technically doesn't count. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except Fusion and Synchros. Second effect reads, Earthbound monster control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while there is a card in the field zone except Earthbound Spirit. So I believe Earthbound Geoglyph is like the only like field spell of the whole archetype. So what's cool about this is that you can summon cards like oh, what's that one? Can you summon? Hold on, let me check my deck. Give me a second. Let me, because I believe you can actually summon the Supei Duskwalker monsters off of this card's effect. Because I think it counts. Let's go deck. Earthbound Immortal. Here we are. Give me 1 second, guys. I want to be super quick about this. Okay, no. Apparently you can't. But cards like Earthbound Linewalker is like one of the best cards you can summon, because Earthbound Linewalker, with Earthbound Linewalker, you don't need Earthbound Geoglyph to keep your to keep your Earthbound Immortals on the board, which is actually kind of cool. It's actually kind of cool, but still, again, it's basically a it's essentially a cyber rev system, but for Earthbounds, which is really cool. And also, it has a built-in protection, which is pretty good. Next up, we've got Earthbound Prisoner Stone Sweeper, which is a 5-star Dark Fiend. So this is one of the target. I believe this is the only target. This one and one other one. So Linewalker, Sweeper, and this other one, Earthbound Prisoner Linewalker, which I'll talk about here in a second, are the 3 targets you can use for Groundkeeper's effect. But excuse me. But Stone Sweeper, 5-star Dark Fiend, 1600 attack and defense. And the first effect is a once per turn. Actually, you can special summon this card with the first effect once per turn. The second effect is also a once per turn. The first effect reads, if there is a card in the field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it has a sort of like a Cyber Dragon effect, but what's even more funny is that Cyber Dragon is a 5-star. This card is also a 5-star. That makes it even more funnier, which is cool. The second effect reads, you can discard this card, add a level 3 or lower Fiend Tuner from your deck to your hand, and you cannot summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except Fusion and Synchros. So funny thing is that the funny thing is that you can send this card from your hand to the grave, and you can add either Groundkeeper or Linewalker to your hand, and you can just combo off from there, which is pretty nice. Sorry guys, I kicked my desk. My bad. Let me move my desk, move my camera. There we go. Hold on. Okay, we're good. Sorry guys, I had to readjust here. Anyway, basically what you would do is you would activate Stone Sweeper's effect, add either Prisoner Linewalker or the other one. What was it called again? Groundkeeper. Go into a synchro play, not using that tuner, but by using either Supei, Supei Duskwalker or Dawnwalker Ascator. Use summon one of those two from your hand. Summon out the tuner for that monster. Sync them off into a level 6 or a level 8, depending on what you summoned, and you can just combo off from there, and then go into an Earthbound Immortal, special summon, or rather normal summon the Prisoner Groundkeeper, which is probably like your early option. Sync those two off into a Psychic and Punisher, and then activate Earthbound Revival. I believe it's called. Resummon one of your Earthbound Immortals, and you basically have a very strong board right there. That's actually pretty good. Just off of Stone Sweeper alone, that's actually not too bad. That's actually not too bad. There we go. Sorry guys, if you guys have seen my previous videos, you guys know when I drink a lot of water on camera, it's always something lodged in my throat and it won't go down. Okay. I think I'm good. I think I'm good for now. I think I'm good. I apologize, guys. Anyway, still, the effect of Stone Sweeper, that's actually a pretty good combo right there, just off of that one card alone. That's not bad. That's not bad, especially if you do open with I'll say Chaka-Cholua, Stone Sweeper, Earthbound Revival, Geoglyph, and one of those 5-star monsters. If you open with those 5 and you top deck, let's say, I'll say a danger. Let's just say that as a random example. That right there is practically full combo. That right there is practically full combo, which would be what, Psychic and Punisher, plus 1 Earthbound Immortal and 1 other monster? That's not bad. That's not bad. Next up, we've got Earthbound Prisoner Line Walker. Ooh, excuse me. Which is a 3-star Dark Fiend tuner with 800 attack, 1100 defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Earthbound Prison or Harmonic Synchro Fusion from your deck or grave to your hand. Now, Harmonic Synchro Fusion, I'm actually going to be talking about that here in a bit. But I had a look at the effect, guys. We are going to be in for a hell of a meta once this set comes out. Once this set comes out for us in the TCG in the summer, I have a feeling Earthbound Immortals might become the new meta, and it could very may well just destroy decks like Kashtira, Naturia Runic, Sprites. Dude. If this deck does not become meta this summer, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. But just that effect right there, it's basically Spell Trap Rhoda, which is really good. Which is really strong. And it's sort of like a combo starter of sorts, which is really cool. The second effect reads, if you control a level 6 or higher Earthbound monster, except Earthbound Spirit, you can banish this card from your grave, then target one opponent's effect monster, special summon from the extra deck, special summon from the extra deck, shuffle it into the deck, then your opponent can special summon a monster with the same name from their extra deck. So if they have multiple copies of a card, like say, just as a random example, I'll say Mass Hero Koga. Let's just say that. Then Koga would go back into the extra deck, and they would be able to summon another copy from the extra deck, which it's okay, but that's something you don't want to see, honestly. So this one might just only be a one-of, just because of the fact you don't want to see your opponent summoning from their extra deck, because if they do, you're pretty much fucked for the most part. So I would probably put this at 1, maybe even at 2, just so you don't brick for the most part, but still it's pretty decent. Next up, we've got Earthbound Servant Geo Kraken, which is an 8-star Dark Fiend fusion with 2800 attack, 1200 defense, and requires 2 Earthbound monsters except Earthbound Spirit. I believe the Earthbound Immortals can also be used to summon these fusions, which is going to be insane, guys. Think about that. That's insanity. Pretty nuts. Both of its effects are once per turn, and the first effect reads, if this card is special summon, you can add a field spell from your deck or grave to your hand. So this is basically terraforming in a fusion. I mean, there's not much else to say about that. It's just terraforming. Plain and simple. Second effect reads, if a monster or monsters is special summoned from your opponent's extra deck, you can destroy as many of their monsters special summoned this turn as possible, and if you do, inflict 800 damage to them for each monster destroyed by this effect. This is actually a really good way, to potentially push for game, but it all just depends on whose turn it is. If it's your opponent's turn, and they have, like, I'll say, let's say they have like full life points, you know, 8,000, and there's so many like 5, and they summon like 5 or 6 monsters. Let's just say that you would activate Kraken's effect, basically pop the entire board, and that's what 4,800 damage to them. But if it's your turn, and they only have, let's say, like 800 life points, and they summon the monster off of like Awaken the Dragon or whatever, because that they popped it during the battle phase, which you are able to actually. That's basically pushing for game. That they basically committed suicide. That's basically it. Not I know I shouldn't have said that word, but still, it's basically that, which is not something that you want to see them do, but at the same time, it's like, why would you want to do that in the first place? You know, it's weird. It's very weird. But still, this card can potentially push for game. It just depends. It all just depends on the board state. But next up, we have Earthbound Servant Geogracia, which is a 10-star Dark Fiend fusion with 3,000 attack, 1,800 defense, and it requires an Earthbound fusion and an Earthbound synchro. And it says that it must be fusion summon, and the second effect is a once per turn. The first effect reads, at the start of the damage step, if this card battles a monster, change that monster's attack and defense to 0. Second effect reads, if an opponent's monster is destroyed by a battle card effect, you can destroy all cards they control. Third effect reads, if this face-up card leaves the field by your opponent, you can special summon one Earthbound monster from your deck or extra deck except Earthbound Spirit. So again, funny enough, this card right here, this one card right here, is a 1-card Earthbound Immortal. It's a 1-card Earthbound Immortal. You can summon cards like Kusalu, Oru, Rurakocha Raska, Chakachalua, Kokapakapu. No, any one of those, and you push for game. Plain and simple. There's not much else to say about that. So with that third effect, if it were to leave the field by your opponent's effect or by battle or whatever, then it basically can tag itself out for potentially an Earthbound Immortal, or perhaps like an Earthbound Linewalker or whatever, and you just summon it, and it's as if you never lost any monsters to begin with, which is insane. Not only that, but it also has a sort of like a Raigeki Harpies Feather Duster effect, where you could just nuke their whole board and you push for game. That's how insane that this card is. Do I even have to say anything else? I don't think I do. I don't think I need to say anything else. But next up, we've got Earthbound Servant Geo Gremlin, which is a 6-star Dark Fiend Synchro with 2,000 attack, 1,000 defense, and requires a Dark Tuner plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. So, kind of generic, but you're going to be using this for Earthbound Immortals. And my brother just texted me. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second. There we go. There we go. Anyway, it has two effects, which are both once per turn. The first effect reads, during the main phase as a quick effect, you can target one face of a monster your opponent controls. Your opponent chooses one of these effects for you to apply. Destroy the monster, gain life points equal to that monster's attack. So it doesn't matter what they choose. Either way, I mean, you basically win. You basically win either way, which is pretty cool. So you can either gain life points, or you can destroy, or the monster gets destroyed. Excuse me. Hang on, guys. Sorry, guys. I slept on my neck roll last night. My whole body hurts. Sorry, guys. I slept on my neck and my left shoulder wrong. I don't know why. But anyway, if your opponent has Psychic and Punisher, and it has like, I'll say it has like over 10,000 attack. I mean, you're gonna be I mean, if your opponent chooses to give you life points, that right there is nasty, because you could potentially have over 20,000 life points depending on what they choose anyway, which is pretty cool. Second effect reads, during the battle phase as a quick effect, you can fusion summon one Earthbound fusion from your extract by banishing fusion materials mentioned on it from your hand, field, and or graveyard. So this is basically so not only is this a sort of like a trap hole, but this is also this is also polymerization on a 6-star 2K body, which is pretty good. Not much else to say about that. I don't know if it would change anything, change how how the deck would operate, but I have a hunch that it probably wouldn't. But who knows? Next up, we've got Earthbound Servant Geo Griffin, which is an 8-star Dark Fiend Synchro with 2,500 attack, 1,500 defense, and requires a tuner and one or more non-tuners. And both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect reads, which is a quick effect. You can special summon one Earthbound monster from your grave in defense position, except this card or Earthbound Spirit. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra for the rest of the turn except Fusion and Synchro. So, again, it locks you out of the extra except for Fusions and Synchros that I guess basically have Earthbounds in their name. But what's cool about this is that this has a sort of like a Monster Reborn effect, which can help you go into your Synchro plays and then just combo off into your Earthbound Immortals, which that right there is actually kind of good. That's actually pretty good, I must say. I must admit, that's actually pretty good. The second effect reads, if this card is destroyed by your opponent, you can destroy one card on the field, then inflict 300 damage to your opponent for each Earthbound monster with different names you control and in your grave, except Earthbound Spirit. So basically, you would be basically dealing your opponent up to like 3k damage, 6k damage, depending on how many cards are both on your field and in the graveyard. This is another card that could potentially push for game, but it all depends on how you see it. But still, not bad. Not bad at all. Next up, we've got Earthbound Prison, which is actually the field spell for them. And it has 3 separate effects. The first effect reads, when this card is activated, you can target one effect monster your opponent controls. This card gains this effect. Negate that monster's effects. It's basically imperm in a field spell. Simple. Just plain and simple. Not much to say about it, honestly. Second effect reads, during your main phase, you can normal summon one Earthbound monster in addition to your normal summon or set except Earthbound Spirit. Can only gain this effect once per turn. So again, this is basically a double summon. So even if you committed to your normal summon already, you can commit to your normal summon again and just combo off from there, which is pretty good. This would basically give you access to basically again activate the effect of your stone sweeper, trigger its effect, send it to your graveyard, and you basically get to add groundkeeper to your hand. You activate one of the 5 stars, which is like either Supe or Ascator. Special summon one of them. Special summon their fusions, not fusions, their tuners. Go into that card's synchro, and then just combo off from there. Summon out an Earthbound Immortal. Normal summon Groundkeeper. Go into a second end Punisher. Activate, I think, Earthbound Immortal Revival, which lets you, or the card that lets you special summon an Earthbound Immortal from your graveyard. I don't know which one. And then you can just combo off from there. And with the field spell, you could then normal summon Line Walker and go into another synchro, in which for the most part you're gonna end up choosing either Gremlin or Griffin, one or the other. That's how broken this field spell can be. That's how broken it is. That's actually pretty good. The third effect reads, if this card is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and you have an Earthbound monster on your field and or in your graveyard, have your opponent's life points, and if you do, negate the effects of all face-up cards they currently control until the end of the turn. So this is essentially like a Dark Ruler no more. Or, no. It's basically Dark Ruler no more, but it's for the entire board that they have currently, which is actually pretty nuts. And now for the last new card in the set, Harmonic Synchro Fusion. And I'm gonna be honest, looking at this card, it's gonna be nasty. This is probably gonna be one of the nastiest cards to ever play in a deck like this. It's a normal spell that says that it's a once per turn, and you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this card, except for fusions and synchros. And it reads: send 2 face-up monsters you control to the grave, a tuner and a non-tuner. Special summon a fusion monster and a synchro monster from the extra deck that can be fusion and synchro summoned using only the sent monsters in the grave as material. This is a good way to not only go into a Griffin or a Gremlin, but it can also give you access to go into Kraken, and you can just combo off from there. So again, the idea for your board would be Psychic End Punisher, any Earthbound Immortal, Kraken, and then fusion it off into a Gracia, and then resummon the Kraken, and then go into and then Gremlin, turn it into the Griffin, and then resummon your Gremlin, and you basically have your board right there. That right there is your board. If you and then you can just and then next turn you can link them off into a card like, say, Avermax or whatever, resummon those monsters back, and you have quite the powerful board right there. Just that right there, absolutely wild. Not sure if I know it's possible to pull it off, but I'm gonna have to test out the deck once we get the cards printed in the TCG. But as far as the reprints go, since we're on the topic of the Earthbound Immortals, the reprints are Earthbound Immortal Asilipiscu, Earthbound Linewalker, Earthbound Greater Linewalker, 100 Eyes Dragon, and Earthbound Geoglyph, which, honestly, I'm kind of excited for these cards to be printed, because I never would have imagined that these cards would ever be printed, given the fact that they were seen in in Arc 5 when in my opinion, they should have been printed in 5Ds, because if they were printed in 5Ds, then, in my opinion, the Earthbound Immortal deck would have been 10 times more powerful than it is now. That's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. But, guys, I'm telling you, this might just be the new meta in the TCG this coming summer. And if it's not, I don't know what is. But guys, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.